So welcome everybody to another edition of the Influencer Marketing Roundtable event. Just for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm an influencer marketing specialist. I host my own podcast, which is called Influence. If anybody wants to listen to it, please do. It's on all the major networks, Spotify. In fact, actually, Dan Snow was my latest guest, which you just released yesterday. It was a fantastic interest in what he's been up to. You know, as you probably know, he's a broadcaster, but passionate about history and niche. And niche is a big part of what I talk about when it comes to influencer marketing. I'm also the author of Influencer Marketing Strategy, which was published last year and soon to be published in Brazil in a few months' time, which I'm very excited about because I'm going there for a week to promote it. I'm also a writer for the London Evening Standard. I have a weekly column on influencer marketing, and I'm a host to many, many events, or indeed sometimes a panelist around influencer marketing and membership, I might add, because I'm also the founder of Membership World, the founder of the Meetings and Events Support Association and the Influence Division of the Branded Content Marketing Association. But if that isn't enough, I also have a full-time job working as Chief Strategy Officer for Audience to Media with Lexi. This is an amazing influencer marketing platform with over 101 million social media profiles, and we work with some of the biggest brands in the world on executing influencer marketing campaigns. So I also, by the way, have my own influencer marketing program. I'm not going to go through that in too much detail here, but this is all about helping individuals become the go-to thought leader, the go-to person in their niche, really. And I take people through a program. I do that tend to be in the evenings or at the weekends. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about TikTok today, only for a few minutes, because I really want to have a greater, wider conversation with all of you about what you're doing on TikTok or what you might be interested in doing. But let's just share with you a few thoughts. It is one of the fastest growing social media platforms, and the reason it is because the level of engagement is insane. It's also not just for 18 to 24-year-olds. Sometimes people think, oh yes, it's a fun channel for people to laugh about with. Well, trust me, it is not. Some of the biggest global brands are investing millions in TikTok now, and they're getting spectacular results. And many, many viral campaigns, particularly in regard to challenges, have originated from TikTok. So I think that's really interesting. So one of the things that you can do is jump on trends. Because what TikTok is trying to do is to get everybody, getting involved and engaged. So it's not just about promoting; it's largely about, engagement more than anything else. And this just shows you when Tiger King was at the height of its interest on TV. Look at some of the levels of engagement. There were over 601,000 posts around on TikTok. And with over 3 billion views, which is absolutely staggering. And what happens sometimes is that if there's a trend going on, then it's a great way for you to somehow engage in it with your own version of it. Also, people will share from trusted sources more than anything else. So, this is a great way of boosting your authority, making sure that you do keep your content up. The algorithms, like all social media channels, are ultimately what they want to do is to keep you engaged on the platform for as long as possible. So ideally, don't repurpose content from other platforms. In other words, if you've done something on Facebook or Instagram, don't repurpose it on TikTok. What they want is original content. I always say to people, all of your content should either be one or all of these three. It should be educational, inspirational, or entertaining. Never lose sight of that. The video length, try and keep them short and snappy, 10 to 15 seconds. We're now in the attention economy more than anything else. So unless you can grab people's attention, then it's not going to go well. It was interesting, actually. I shared a meme recently. It was about Djokovic and MasterCard and Visa, which was very funny. I don't know if any of you follow me and saw that, but that was one of the highest levels of engagement I have had on some of my content, because it was funny and it was trending, it was relevant. But yeah, it's just so some of these memes can be really, really successful. Also, animal content goes ballistic on social media, you know, and actually when, I don't know if any of you know, but you can actually work with animal influencers very successfully. They're one of the highest rated to purchase, because obviously there's not as many of them, but they get the highest level of engagement. Definitely think about running challenges. A campaign that was run by Boohoo, which was very successful, and they got people influencers to dress each other, but it was, you know, very entertaining, very funny, but obviously it got people really engaged in the different outfits that you can buy from Boohoo. I actually was researching this last night. The Guaca dance still remains as the biggest campaign that was ever run on TikTok, with over 430 million video starts. And the brand Chiptol, which is a guacamole product. Another thing you can do is to create your own branded hashtag. Of course, that also is a great way of bringing people back to your message. And so what are the lessons that we can learn from the guacamole song? Is the simplicity of it all. Make it super easy. The more complicated it is, the more unlikely it is for people to get involved. Certainly make it fun, but never ever lose sight of having a call to action and having a goal behind it. You can also use paid ads behind some content. And by the way, you know, you don't think that this is all about you doing this. It could well be that you actually use TikTok for your own company by embracing and working with influencers. And as an organization, Audience to Media, it's an area that we obviously specialize in helping people navigate the people that are talking about their subject matter, but doing it in an educational, entertaining, or inspiring way. But of course, if they've got really great content they've created, by actually putting some ad spend behind it, you can amplify that hugely. Not only have you got the assets that you can use, but you can do that in a way that really is highly relevant. Sorry. You can also do cliff-hanging content. I was looking at this last night as well, and I don't know if any of you have seen this on TikTok, but it's a really great way where you know, you get the suspense, you keep people almost on the edge of their seats. And this is what's so fascinating, isn't it? Many of us would be watching Netflix. And what are we watching more than anything else? I know I am. I tend to watch more episodal content rather than films. And it just proves to, I mean, how many of us have seen on the screen, you know, are you still watching, you know? And that proves that we're binge watching now, because what we want to do is watch content when it's suitable for us. But actually, if you watch some of these really cool videos, which is where it's literally nerve biting, and they've, you know, somebody's could fall over, somebody could, it may be a magician or something, and you're waiting for the suspense. Because what's normally interesting, if the content isn't resonating very well, people click out of it so quickly, which is why if you've got a quick message, the importance is to share it very quickly. But if you're looking at this sort of cliffhanging suspense stuff, it can be, I mean, Dayton, we were just talking about ropes earlier. Perhaps we could do something really exciting around ropes. You can create a tutorial, which is largely about educational. One thing I would also say, generally, when it comes to content, is always be mindful of having a what would you call it, a weekly moment. Yeah, so something where people are coming to you every single week. Well, this, for example, is my Wednesday morning weekly moment. But because there's so much content out there, if you are going to be sharing this, try and do it on a time when you know your audience is going to be active. So let's just say it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock every Wednesday evening. It's 8 o'clock every Thursday, whatever it is. Yeah, don't just do it sporadically, because some of the best creators, what they do is they build the suspense up, and they say, guys, so they remind people that's when the upload videos are going to be. Because remember, like all social media, it's the first hour that's critical. So that what they want is people engaging with that content as quickly as possible, because the quicker they do it, the more it pushes it out to more and more and more people, because that's what you really want at the end of the day, more eyeballs on your content. You can create a branded filter, and here's a couple, Sheen and Coca-Cola, so that actually the brand is weaved in ideal branded content, weaved into the product delivery. So it doesn't look like a superficial, oh, look at this particular product. Do you see what I mean? So that's been a great way to get engagement. As I said a little while ago, anything that you can do to engage on current trends makes a big difference. I mean, this was what they were talking about a little while ago, was the coronavirus handshake. But what they were trying to do is you know, try and create something entertaining over what was a challenging time for all of us. So it was uplifting content, but it still had a sort of a serious message behind it. You know, you can celebrate special events as well. So here is something that TikTok did, where they were getting behind International Women's Day. So they created their own hashtag, She Can Do It. And of course, that caused huge amounts of interest, and people were sharing their own stories about courage and you know, some of the success stories behind women achievers. You can definitely share educational videos. This is an individual who's a doctor, and one of the benefits about you know, whatever your professions are, yeah, is there a niche? It doesn't actually have to be your name. It can be something what, you know, I always say a brand is what somebody says about you when you're not in the room. So this isn't just a doctor, this is a gynecologist. So what she's talking about here is stuff that she knows is going to be of interest to people. And look, she's even got her own merch store there as well. But 1.1 million followers is incredible, isn't it? But she's addressing some very interesting points. I love the way that she is using all of her videos are similar with her branding. So one thing you can also do is, when you're creating video content for TikTok, is if you can create your own style that is unique to you. So what does Mama Dr. Jones do? Well, what she does is, you can recognize it because she always has these branded captions, and that makes her stand out. So it's not just here's another video, it's her own unique identity. So hopefully that's given us a few reasons to have a chat, and that was useful to you. So meanwhile, we've also had some people join us, so I just want to say hello to them. Joe, it's nice to see you. Do you want to just tell us who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, hi, I'm Joe. I am based down in Devon, in Exeter. I have recently sold my estate agency roster so that I can go back into property development, and I have a utility warehouse distributorship as well.
Ah, great, brilliant. That's great. Good to hear. And we've also got Mal. Is that Malonzo? I can't see you and I can't hear you. Do you want to say who you are and where you're from? Maybe not.
Hello.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's Mercedes. I'm a bit shy.
You're a bit shy.
Yeah, Spaniard living in London, doing sales, advertising. So very interesting content. I haven't used TikTok, and it's
Brilliant.
very interesting.
Brilliant. Have you started using TikTok already?
I'm thinking about it. I haven't do it. I thought when it came out on a personal basis, I thought that I may be too old for it personally, but yeah. I realized that not.
Well, that's a really interesting point you said there, because actually, you know, I think some people that don't know about TikTok, they just assume it's an 18 to 24-year-olds playground. In actual fact, the demographic is changing hugely now. In fact, you may have seen that they're very much involved in supporting the fashion industry, which is Peter's area. They are also, did anybody see the cricket recently? They supporting branding all around international English cricket. So, you know, this is going to be a mainstream platform, and the age profile is definitely growing. What I think is fascinating is the amount of engagement on it is absolutely huge. So interesting to see. So Lexi, are you on TikTok? You're on mute.
Hang on, sorry. So I am on TikTok. It wouldn't be my primary platform. So I myself do a little bit of content creation on the side, just as a little side hustle, and it's one of my interests. I'm thoroughly invested in fashion. So I have my Instagram as my primary platform. And then TikTok, I have created a few videos on, but I think, again, it's like when you're coming in from even someone at my age and you're trying to navigate a platform. So I'm only 25, but when you're trying to navigate a platform and it's, you know, it's very new and you're seeing all these young girls and how they're doing it. The only thing I've noticed, which I think isn't as much so with our generation, is it's quite egotistic sometimes, in the sense that, you know, you're in a video, you're posing, it's very, you know, she does her makeup on, she does this, that. And it's just something that I haven't grown up with, and I'm not used to, is people being so kind of being able to visibly see, I know, your life and how interacting. I mean, it's more interactive, I guess you're saying. So you're speaking a lot more, and I think it's about getting comfortable with opening up that, you know, that having more eyes on you, and I guess being able to open up more for judgment. Because when you're on Instagram, I guess it was easy for you. You're kind of, you know, you're putting up the content that you want, and that might be a photo or something like that, but it's not as personal. You can't really see character. And I think it's kind of getting used to putting yourself out there a bit more and being comfortable with your audience, you know, seeing you. So it's something that I'm like trying to work on, I think, because I'm not as I'm quite a private person, and I think that I like being able to put what I wanted to put online. But TikTok kind of is that platform where you can't be chiseled and you can't be perfect. What makes TikTok and what makes videos, and if any of you are, you know, deciding to do a video on TikTok, if you try and look at it and create something that's like too pristine and serious, it just will flop. It won't work. It needs to be integrated into the platform. It needs to fall in line with, you know, what trends are going on. A really good example for you guys, if you guys wanted to have a look and see how companies can brilliantly, you know, use TikTok, would be to look at the Ryanair TikTok page. And I don't know if any of you have come across it, but basically what Ryanair have done, and it's an Irish company, kind of our main airline company, and what they did is they basically brought in what seems to be a young girl. We've never seen her face, but she's a young girl to manage this TikTok account. And within 1 year from last year, I think she's now on something crazy like 2.3 million followers on it or something on the Ryanair TikTok account. Wow. And it was all because she would basically integrate, you know, kind of, I guess you could say, slight digs or remarks. If there was a trend going on, she might integrate Aer Lingus, and she would slam them on something funny, you know, and she'd bring them in, and she would put this filter on where it's just her eyes and her face on the front of the Ryanair plane. So all these TikToks are of her, and I don't know, it might be a trend saying, you know, whatever is of the moment. And she'd integrate the content that she pushes on that page with the trends, and people love that. And then they're slandering, and then other brands get involved, and, you know, we might have Jet Baby commenting underneath saying, oh, you're not faster than us, and things, and all the brands kind of coming in together. So I think if you are going to push content on it with the brand, just be prepared to kind of maybe, especially it'd be good if you're bringing in someone, you know, who has a bit of experience in it, but just don't try and be too perfect on it, because I've tried it and other people, and it doesn't work.
No, and I think that's a really, really good point. I mean, it's the same in a way with all of them. You know, influencer marketing works because these individuals are authentic, and I think. But do you remember I said educational, entertaining, and inspiring? And I think you know, it's fair to say that TikTok has grown hugely because it's an entertainment channel. But you know, there's absolute method in the process of what this young lady is doing. Because if you think about it, let's be honest, Ryanair has had some really bad publicity over a period of time, hasn't it? About the way it's treated its passengers and staff. There's there's Ryanair, or there's the highway, or there's the, you know, there's no other way other than the sort of Ryanair method. So actually, by creating something a little bit humorous and sarcastic, but equally entertaining, it actually boosts the engagement of Ryanair really, really well. So thank you. Len, you want to say something?
No, I'm fine. I was just scratching inside of my head. That was
and actually, while we're on the topic of that, I think I might even mention something that's like another kind of tactical strategy on, you know, that you can do something like this on TikTok. But for example, Ryanair, for a period of time, they had millions of followers, and the only person that they followed was this massive it girl TikToker called Olivia O'Neill. She's Irish, she's from Northern Ireland, she's very, you know, in at the moment. She does YouTube, is her main kind of channel, and a lot of followers on TikTok as well. So the only person that they, in the entire platform that they were following were Olivia O'Neill. And sure enough, and I'm sure this is exactly how they thought it, sure enough, within maybe 3 or 4 weeks, she then posted a video, unpaid, unsponsored, with they didn't pay her anything, just literally a video of her in her outfit of the day saying, another day of me wondering why I'm the only account that Ryanair follows. And it went viral. That was, I think she got like 4 or 5 million likes on that post. And for them, that was completely unpaid. And after that, once she posted that video, they were like, okay, well, obviously messaged her and said, hey, Olivia, we saw you shared this. And then they give her free flights to Spain, and then it's a whole sponsored holiday on Ryanair. So see how it can really, like, it's just really effective in how you communicate with things, and how it's so instant, and people, I don't know, it's like people can like it because you can have that funny side and you can be sarcastic. So I just thought that was a brilliant marketing ploy from them. I've seen a few other people do it before since then. I don't think it worked quite as well. I feel like when you're first on the bandwagon, it's really the punch, but I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah. Well, a lot, I mean, what you do is you see a lot of challenges on TikTok. In fact, when I was doing some research for this, just for a few slides this morning, I was looking at the emergency services. The emergency services have done a whole series of dance routines. So you've got, you should go and check them out, guys, by the way. So you've got like policemen doing this sort of these amazing dances, and I think because we see the emergency services, always there for us, and they're fairly straight-laced. To see them actually having fun, I think it just makes you feel like you're engaged, you're in touch with them, they're part of us. You know what I mean? When you see a whole, you know, fire crew doing a whole routine, you know, it does actually resonate really well. What do you guys think, Dayton? You know, you're from an industry that, what about your cliffhanger? Do you reckon we could do some cliffhanger content?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, we've talked about not so much the cliffhanger, but there's a famous, some famous videos on YouTube, I think, of something called, it's a professional blender. And I think the concept is, will it blend? I don't know if anybody's seen this or they're aware of it, but it's about.
Yeah, I actually have seen that before.
So the boss showed us that the other week, and we thought it was quite amusing. And you know, we're kind of wondering, because you know, a big thing for us with rope and technology is where is the breaking limit on this product? So everybody's pushing better and better quality products to market, and they want to say, look, this only this diameter, and this breaks at a certain thing. So some sort of cliffhanger or kind of suspense around that kind of is probably of interest to us.
Yeah, no, that's good. Thank you. Peter, I mean, obviously TikTok is big in the fashion world, isn't it? What do you think about how models can really use TikTok in their own way? What's your thoughts?
Well, it's obviously a way of, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Absolutely.
Means I've got to make sense. It's a combination of other people's brands and their own personal brand for clothing. My particular niche is still photography, so I'm wondering if perhaps my stuff has been too static to attract attention on TikTok, unless I sort of pirate the resources of free, copyright free bits of music.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing, isn't it? It's, you know, if you think about it, if you've got, so you know, you've got some great photographs, you know, absolutely amazing and stunning pictures. You know, that with music, because that's the whole idea of using TikTok. You don't have to pay for the music. You can actually have dramatic music. So
Yeah.
Lexi, just so you give some understanding, so Peter is a fashion still photographer, and he'll be with us on the 19th of February actually.
Amazing. Okay.
But I'm just thinking of ways in which that
there's ways, Peter. There's honestly, I mean, you're a creative, you know. And what you do is creative in itself, and there's all kinds of ways that you can put these things out on TikTok, and it's not so mainstream. I mean, you wouldn't believe some of the accounts that go on there, but art TikTok, and I've seen photography TikTok as well. Like, I'm sure if you even looked up that hashtag on it and said photography TikTok and see what people are doing, see how people, I mean, even behind the scenes content of, if you were photographing fashion and someone's recording behind you, seeing what you're doing, how you're getting, and then at the end of the video you show the shots, and it's like immersing people into the process of how you're getting the shots, you know, what the model's doing, putting on makeup process, and then at the end the shots come up, and things like that do go viral because people love. That's an aspect to you know, when we're sitting at home and we're looking at a magazine, what are you seeing? You're seeing the result, you're seeing the shot, you're seeing that perfect image, but you're not seeing everything in between. And that's what the users want to see, is they want to see the imperfectness. They want to see how did you get to that point?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty, is that you can go behind, and that's what I meant by saying not everything has to be so perfect. So, you know, for yourself, on your next shoot, or if you wanted to start a TikTok, 100%, you know, if someone could be with you for recording process, just little snippets here and there, and then the last few bits would be the photographs and the music on TikTok. To answer that question, it's already copyrighted, so you can look up pretty much any song. I'd imagine they have a whole Spotify almost of songs. They have probably billions of songs, I don't even know, millions of songs on there, and there'll be trending songs which are more likely to get picked up in the algorithm, and you can find those under a certain tab, and if you use those songs, your content is likely to get pushed. And then of course, if you're working with different brands or even different models or anything, you can use hashtags, saying, you know, if you're working with whatever brand it is, hashtag whatever, Miu Miu, hashtag whatever, you can put that hashtag in the caption so the algorithm picks it up, and people who are interested in fashion, that video will be pushed to them. So see, there's loads of different things that you can do to make sure your content is getting to the right people and that your content is valuable to the audience. Even when you're saying something is photography, when it's static, it's not though. You're the person who's doing all the movement. Yeah, it's static for everybody else, but give everyone else an idea of what you actually do and how you view photography, because it's a lot more than just a photo. Yeah, you know.
So it's a really, really good point, Lexi. I mean, one of my friends who I'd hoped to be on this today, actually, unfortunately, it hasn't turned up, but she's a videographer. And so she'll have another picture of her at a shoot. So it constantly reminds people that's what she's doing. So for you, Peter, it's asking another photographer or me or somebody else just to take a picture of you taking a picture of somebody else.
Yeah. A video.
Or a video. Yeah. And almost you talking about the importance of a lens and a filter, or the craft that you take, because at the moment, all people see is just an amazing picture. You know, you're just another photographer, but I know that you're not just another photographer. So actually, by using video content, and this is perhaps you have somebody to help you a little bit, to be fair, to start with, so that it becomes natural to you, and you become, look, guys, I'm not really on TikTok, and it's something I've put on my plan to do this year, and there's a little bit of hesitancy on my part as well, although I like to, you know, I'm a speaker, I'm quite happy in front of a camera, but I'm hugely aware, as Lexi is saying, that you are showing everything in your whole life. So it's but it doesn't really matter, because I think if we just give it a go, my lesson to all of you, simply, before you step out into the unknown, go and check out who else is on TikTok doing something similar to you, and start to not, before you even put any content out, have a look at what else is out there, particularly in your niche, using hashtags, you know, using stuff that you like. And remember this as well. Whatever you like and you share, remember why. Yeah, remember the attributes. This is the same with all social media, by the way. If you like a video, why? What is it about it? Is it because it's funny? But why is it funny? Is it because it's inspired you? And why? Is it because it's a quote? You could, I mean, you could just do, you know, inspirational quotes with dramatic music, and that could be your niche. You know, you could, Sarah, because you're very much involved in the events industry. I mean, TikTok would be great to do the behind the scenes, you know, all set up for XYZ live behind the scenes. So you could even do a sort of a quick walk around the show before it's even open. So effectively the audience are getting a taste for what's coming, you know, and then it finishes up at your stand, for example. That could be really cool. You could start to use TikTok to interview people, you know, and ask them to, because, you know, nowadays we haven't got the patience to sit through 20-minute videos. You know, we really haven't. If you think about your time, our time is all super precious, isn't it? So, you know, what is it that's getting to the nugget as quickly as possible? So, you know, have a think about that. I want to say hello to Matthew, because Matthew's not got his camera on and he's not got his sound on. So where are you, Matthew? Is he there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. Look at him. Right. Well, put your camera on. Put your camera on, because he's rubbish at technology, Matthew, but he's a very inspiring individual, and he's got well, I'll tell you, tell everybody what you do, Matthew.
Hello, everyone. I design hats and fascinators for ladies going to ascots. I
How cool is
also
that?
design furniture items. So that is on the background, mainly hats and fascinators.
Yeah,
That's
and they are amazing. They are amazing. Have you got any pictures of them, Matthew? Have you got any pictures of them? There.
Yeah, let me see.
Show me one. Show me one. Show us the guys.
Oh, can you give me a minute?
Yeah, we'll give you a minute.
Let me just grab one. I've just finished.
But what's really interesting about here, we've all got stories, you know, every single one of us has got a story to tell. And if we can think about, you know, not just about promoting, but thinking about, you know, how can I share those stories? There we go. Look at that.
Oh my God, amazing.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. My mom would love that.
But what's really good, Matthew, is that I've seen some of the pictures talking about what Peter does as well, of the ladies that are wearing your hats, and they are literally jaw-dropping. This is amazing content for you. It really, really is. And what you need to do is to well, one of two things. You be the sharer of it, but also try and then make sure that your customers or that your people within your niche.
Yeah, we said this before, didn't we, Gordon? You should be tagging the, especially any high profile celebrity clientele he has.
Correct.
100%.
Yeah. And I think
I'm working on new projects now, so I'm rebranding because I've had a bit of a kick in the mouth from COVID. So that's the reason I'm doing a new website. Everything is going to be amazing. I'm working on new projects, something that I've never tried before, and they're working very well. So I'm taking all your advice. Everything is going to happen, definitely.
And we're going to have a chat sometime soon, aren't we?
Definitely.
Yeah. As long as you can get me into Ascot, because I've got to get into Ascot. I mean, there's got to be a quid pro quo there, isn't there?
I've been there, Gordon, done it, worn the t-shirt.
You've been there. Yeah, but I'm talking Ladies' Day, James.
I was there, Ladies' Day. I had a runner on Ladies' Day.
Oh, because you're into horses, aren't you?
I had a runner in the first. I had a runner in the first race of the new Royal Ascot, the Coventry Stakes. That's back in 2007. Great day out now.
Was it? Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Are you on, James? Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm not. I'm up to my eyeballs and all my other platforms, and I will eventually have to bite the bullet and do it. But I'm using Instagram a lot at the minute, and I don't want to. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on Instagram, and if I go on to TikTok, I think I'll take away a little bit of what I'm getting on Instagram, but I probably will eventually have to. But see, I'm more or less advertising myself and my own business. I don't know whether it will work, you know, but
Yeah.
all the
Although you
feedback.
can educate people, James. I mean, obviously you're a digital marketing agency, so you can be. I mean, I would suggest that some of the results of what you've achieved for your customers.
Yeah, fair point.
Could be really helpful.
Yeah, you could use it like a lot of other people are using, good reviews and that you're getting.
Exactly.
You could, yeah.
Exactly.
I just at the present, I just haven't the time and effort to put into it, because I'm doing a lot of sampling at the minute for new customers and that. But I will eventually have to. But I'm holding off for another little bit, I think. They're very similar though, aren't they, Gordon? TikTok and Instagram, they're nearly. They're very similar.
They are. I think the thing is, and Lexi made a really good point. I think because it's so driven by video content, and it's entertaining in the most part, it has huge levels of engagement. Far greater.
I'll give you a stat right now. I might have brought this up before, but it's gone up another 2%. Right, 82% of all social media traffic is video.
It's video, exactly.
Yeah. It's frightening, like, you know.
Yeah.
Video is going, well, it more or less already is, but this year in 2022, a lot of companies are going to have to get their heads around. They're going to have to spend on video content, because putting up pictures of food and pictures of what they're trying to advertise, people aren't seeing it. You know.
No.
And following on from that, actually, interesting you just said that, because I was actually watching TikToks yesterday, and they were educational TikToks, and they were actually commenting on, there were a number of girls, and they were commenting on how as a whole in the content creator on Instagram, I've noticed it myself, and that's why I kind of went to TikTok to look it up and see if they could find anything on it, and I did. And it's that everyone's engagement on posts on Instagram, static photo posts, has gone hugely down. My engagement, it was gone hugely down on it, and I couldn't explain it. And you're sitting there and you're like, is my content not good anymore? Do people not like my page? And it turns out that apparently, and this has been, you know, a few people have like pulled up articles on this and stuff, that Instagram really have just taken a huge pushback in the algorithm with static, and are only pushing the videos.
The other thing with that is as well,
reels.
The reels. Sorry, that's what I mean. They're pushing the reels instead of the photo posts on Instagram now. So even Instagram
stories and reels are gone huge on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm actually doing a webinar. I'm actually attending a webinar this afternoon with the Institute of Digital Marketing, and that was about a year ago. Well, I'd say 6 to 8 months ago. That's where I got them stats from on a webinar there from the Institute of Digital Marketing.
Yeah,
it's huge. Video is going to take over. It'll take over this year. Like, but a lot of companies, when you explain it, they don't understand it. That's the problem. Like.
So here's the point, James. And I think my view is if you don't really understand it, then don't worry about it, because there are lots of people that do.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to, because for me, I say to, I mean, look, Jem actually does quite a lot of my Instagram for me, you know, and because she's got the time, she creates the content and pushes it out. She knows what hashtags to use. It's not that I don't, but I just don't have the time. So actually, by having somebody else work with me on a daily basis, we've seen my Instagram grow hugely since I launched that new channel in July. So there's a lot to be said for do what you do best and outsource. You know, I know.
I will eventually.
Or else adapt, because you gotta adapt.
Adapt.
That's what I'm trying to do now. But
I will probably have to outsource my TikTok, because I don't have the time. I don't have the time to give TikTok as much as I'm giving Facebook and Instagram. Like.
Yeah.
And I give, to be fair as well, I give LinkedIn a lot of time as well.
And that's important, James, as well, because sometimes it's about knowing where your biggest audience is. Sandy, did you want to say something at all? Or
Yeah, Facebook are trialing Reels now as well. So, I mean, it's definitely the way things are going.
Yeah, everything is moving to video without shadow of a doubt. That is where it's going. Like, but
it is. And if you pick on again on the trending sounds, you can save the trending sounds and use them later. I mean, I'm not very into it. I mean, I did one and I had like 9,000 views, which I was quite kind of pleased about. But it's not my comfort zone. I really.
You see, with video as well and I know that the static images do a job, but video catch people's attention. Like,
yeah, but it's the way
they'll click on it to watch it. You know that.
Yeah, but it's the way it's loads as well, isn't it? Because with Facebook, if you want to look at someone's content, you have to sort of type their name in, go and look for them, and then go and look at what they've posted. And with TikTok and with Reels, it just brings them up automatically. So you look at one, and then you scroll up, and there's another one there, and you're not looking. You don't necessarily know what you're looking for until you find it.
The thing with it, see, with the stories and Reels, a story will only stay up for 24 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're putting up daily stories on your Instagram, right? You put them up on Instagram, but put them up as a reel as well, because once they go up on a reel, they stay in the algorithm for all the time. Like.
But you can put them up as highlights as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, correct, yeah. But I mean, I post about 15 stories a day. I try and sort of stay
I'd be similar.
Level.
I'd be 8 or 9 stories a day. Yeah.
Really? Goodness. No.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Blimey,
I do 15 a day every day.
Goodness,
I'd make about, at the beginning of every month, I would make about 8 or 9. I would make about, say, 15 or 20 different stories, and I'd put up about 8 posts. Yeah, I'd put up about 8 different stories every day.
Well, you're gonna frighten the hell out of everybody else on here, thinking that they're never gonna have time to be able to do all this. And
it's funny. It's funny because this is why I think it just takes a bit of time to get used to stuff. But the videos on Instagram as well, and on my Reels on Instagram, which is the same as TikTok, but Instagram's version is called Reels. So my videos on Instagram and TikTok, it's the ones that I've put the least amount of effort into that have got the most views.
Yeah, sometimes it works like that. It's unbelievable. And some of the ones that you put the most of effort in, and even the most effort creating the videos, you put them up. It's just the way it is.
Well, you know why? You know why? Because I think people like rawness. They like the genuine, and particularly if you look at all types of content on social media, when people open their soul a bit more, or they share more of their personality, it's a fact that we love that. I mean, look at the way. One thing I always say to everybody I talk to is have a look at your own habits. When you watch TV, when you watch social media, what is it that really resonates with you? Why do you want to watch more of something? Was it because it's emotional? Is it because it's you feel connected to that individual? And you feel connected to that individual when they open more of their soul a bit, really.
Yeah, but it goes back to, Gordon, what you've said earlier on as well. If you find the TV program interesting and engaging, you'll stay watching it.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's the same when you're making. It's the same when I'm putting together a video, say a video for social media. That's what you have to do, like, to draw people in, like. And not all the stories and some of the video content I put up gets a lot of views, right? But you don't put them up, you don't know, so you just have to. It's continuous.
No, absolutely. I noticed that Nade has come in the room as well. Do you want to show us who you are, or put the microphone on, or are you a bit shy?
I'm not generally shy, but it's just been one heck of a morning. So I'm just going to stay on audio, if you don't mind. I've been enjoying the conversation so far.
Tell us what you do, just so that we know what you do.
I do quite a few things. So I have a small food business where we do hot sauces and chili oils and spice rubs and stuff like that.
Nice.
But also I'm in the subscription space, and we've got two subscription businesses. One is a book subscription service for kids with plans for 4 to 14-year-olds. The ambition really there is just to inspire kids to read for pleasure, which then translates into better literacy outcomes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The other subscription box is for the care industry. So people can send boxes to their elderly relations in care homes or their elderly relations across the country. We also have a gifting element to that business, which really takes off at Christmas, but we're hoping to get the event site working so people can send hampers and stuff to their teams at Christmas time to express their gratitude.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Do you use influencers as well? Because obviously gifting is a big part of the influencer process. I was just thinking, that could be an extension of what you do.
Yes, so we have used some influences to a respectable degree of success, I think, in terms of awareness.
Yeah.
For the book subscription box, because it was founded by my daughters and they're quite young, but we help them to run it. So it's a very novel thing and people want to support them in that respect. So we have influencers have been very powerful for us, like 5 Minute Mom. I'm sure you might recognize the name, Gordon. She supports them quite a bit. Oxfordshire Mummies supports them quite a bit.
Right.
I think they were even on Holly Tucker's platform. They've got a bit of PR as well, which has been good. For the food business, not so much.
Okay.
Meaning we've been in a few papers, but not so much influencers. And that is a part where I struggle because I need to find that influencer that has a thing for spice,
Spice.
for spicy food.
So you want a spicy influencer. I'm sure we've got plenty, Lexi, haven't we? We've got plenty of spicy influencers.
In the safe sense of the word, yes.
I know. I'm only joking.
I know.
Okay, that's really good. So we've had some really good discussions here. Joe, do you want to add anything? What's your thoughts on what you've heard?
It's really a new technology to me. I did quite a lot of Facebook. I've got a LinkedIn presence, but we've done nothing on TikTok. And I am aware that it's a space that we need to be in. I'm seeing increasingly people from the property sector kind of posting content there. So I'm really here just as a kind of part of a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, do you mention that actually? I've forgotten his name now, actually. But there's
property sector on TikTok is massive.
It is huge. It is huge.
I'm actually currently managing a campaign with a brand, and we're doing a campaign across the UK called New Homes Week. And what that is basically we're utilizing both Instagram and TikTokers. And this is obviously worked well in the past. We're getting them basically, it would be maybe primarily accounts that might be mums, young mums who are all about their homes, or even accounts that are specifically interior design and all that kind of stuff. And you find all these accounts on Instagram and TikTok. And basically we just get these influencers to go to the new home, take unbelievable content of these, of the modern kitchen, everything, create these really beautiful videos. And I love watching them myself on TikTok. I mean, I'm enthralled by them. The interior of these houses, if they're being renovated or anything like that, and it's huge. We get a massive response for it, and that's a campaign that I'm currently starting to outreach now for, and I think it's kicking off in March or late March. So it's a massive sector, and it definitely be worthwhile. Even if you have properties that you're managing. And if you're nervous to start, first you need to just make an account, and it just needs to be simple videos, showing each area of the house and a little bit of music over top, and then the caption just says, a few hashtags and beautiful new property in wherever. And people love looking at that stuff. I love looking at that stuff, and I'm sure countless of people do as well. They honestly do. It's amazing. So definitely just look it up. Maybe just look up a hashtag, you know, property or hashtag new homes and see what comes up and see what other people are doing and see what gets the views, you know. And they're easy to. I know it seems daunting, but they're so easy to recreate. They actually are. You're taking a video, putting it in.
I'll be getting lessons of my 14-year-old daughter who's been making TikTok shorts for 2 or 3
I'm
years.
sure she. I'm pay her a few bob, and she'd be happy to do it. So,
but just to remind everybody, you know, before you venture into this, do your research, have a look what's out there, really find the perfect type of content, and more importantly, not what you think it is, but have a look at the level of engagement that content is getting. Yeah. So if you can, you know, I mean, I was just thinking, Dayton, about some of the content there. You mentioned that you do ropes for super yachts. So there's a great guy called, funny enough, the Yacht Guy. He's an amazing YouTuber, and he basically takes video content within super yachts. So, but that's just an example. I'm just thinking that, you know, we should probably just have a chat at some later stage, actually, and involve
Dayton,
Lexi
if you guys, if you guys are looking for, you know, I'm not sure if you guys were looking more to create an account yourselves, or you're looking to use influencers specifically on TikTok. I mean, what you guys do, even creating rope or super yachts, there's so much content. I've seen so much content online for people, you know, who work on yachts, you know, the day-to-day people. I've seen people who are just what are they called? Are they called what are the boys in the yacht club, and they care for the boats? What are they called?
The deckhands.
The
deckhands, yeah. And I've seen content of them, and they've been up to port, and they'd be, you know, doing all that funny music and things like that. And bringing in your product into videos like that is really engaging. So if you want to have a chat with us, myself and Gordon, again, just feel free to contact us, and we can maybe talk about it further. So
super, thank you. I mean, it's been really quite stimulating for us. Andrew is relatively new to the company, but coming with a lot of ideas here as well. We're just getting started, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, awesome.
Great.
All right, guys, we've got to finish at 9:30. It's been an absolute blast, another great session. Thank you for all your contributions. I hope I've involved as many of you as I can. And have a lovely Wednesday.
Same to you, Gordon. See you next week.
Thanks, Gordon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Thank you, Gordon.
Bye.